Hello and good evening, hockey fans. You have found your way back into the neutral zone here on IE Sports Radio. We have got a full show in plan for you tonight for the next hour or so. Gonna be talking Olympics, USA versus Canada. Did we get a gold medal preview last night? And if so, are we happy with the results that we saw? Canada defeated the U.S. 4-2 in the final preliminary game of the Olympic tournament. We will be breaking that game down. Meanwhile, here back in the States, the NHL had its All Star festivities over the weekend. 3 separate 20-minute games, 3-on-3. That's about the easiest way that I can describe it. That's okay, though. Zach will be giving more details on that than I will. Thank goodness. He'll do a much better job of it than I will. Plus, we've got some news from the college ranks. Zach's dipping back to his alma mater for a minute with an update on Sparty hockey at Michigan State. Talking about the Philadelphia Flyers in the NHL, a holdover from last week. And then finally, a goal in the Western Hockey League that just simply had to be seen to be believed. All that and more coming up on the Neutral Zone. Buckle it on up. Here we go. And once again, welcome on into the Neutral Zone on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. I am Adam. Zach is along with us as well tonight. Gonna be a full show in store for everybody tonight. Talking Olympics, talking NHL, talking college, talking minors. We're just getting everywhere tonight. So without any further ado, let's acknowledge our sponsors and get this show started. The Southern California Warriors semi-pro football team. The world of semi-pro sports is unlike any other sports organizations. Players pay to play in hopes of so many different outcomes, whether it's playing to get filmed to try out for professional teams, big-time colleges, or just playing to stay in shape. No matter what, all semi-pro players have one thing in common, and that's playing for the love of the game. The SoCal Warriors have been on a quest to earn titles and give players second chances since 2017. Whether you're in Southern California or anywhere in the world, give semi-pro sports a chance if you love your sport. You may get that second chance you've been waiting for as an athlete. Find them on Twitter at SoCal Warriors, Instagram at Southern California _Warriors, or go on Facebook, Southern California Warriors. And Background Check International. Businesses, are you looking to background check a new hire on? Let Kit Fremen take care of that for you. Kit founded and has managed Background Check International since 1994, and he's here to help you with the screening process. Contact Kit and let him help make the hiring process that much easier. This business is used for professional background checks and not for the use of any crimes, such as identity theft or any other illegal activity. Go to their website, bcint.com, or find them on Facebook, Background Check International-BCI. And, of course, IE Sports Radio is available on all the major social platforms. Just search at IE Sports Radio, whether that's Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook, or just go to our website, iesportsradio.com. And while you're there, you can find the link to our Patreon page. If you are able, please consider becoming a Patreon supporter, like at MLOS Great or at Bay Area Raised. We have 5 different tiers, the first starting at just $5 a month. This donation gets you a shout-out on all of our shows. We're about 30 shows right now. We just added Florida earlier today, so we will be talking all things Florida. So you want to get caught up on your Tampa Bay Lightning or your Florida Panthers, you know where to go. Palm Tree Sports. That'll be starting soon.
Oh, I like that. Palm Tree Sports. Nice.
Yes. Yeah. Palm Tree Sports. And then higher tiers get you access to things like our Podcasting University or IE Sports Radio merchandise, or even to be featured on a segment of our flagship show, The Defining Moment. If nothing else, thank you for just continuing to support all of us here at IE Sports Radio by listening to our shows. We really do appreciate it. And our fan of the month this month, at Spuds Chat. He's a Rams fan in San Diego. He's been a guest on 3 and Out with Larry B throughout the playoffs. You can learn more about Spuds Chat on our website as well. He's got to be excited and ready for Sunday. Oh, and Taryn is correcting me. It's Palm 3 Sports. I like that even better because there's 3 hosts.
3? Love it.
And if you are listening live in the Spreaker app tonight, hop on into the chat. You can join us and interact with us there. Taryn is in there already. And Taryn is hoping we get happy hockey tonight and not angry hockey like last night. Yes, I went on a rant last night about the Chicago Blackhawks. Monday nights, Chi-Town Weekly. Go listen to the playback. I'll leave it at that. Suffice to say, I am accepting applications for a new NHL franchise until Rocky Wirtz is done with the Blackhawks. And we'll just leave it at that.
Ooh.
And on that note, Zach, how you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm great, Adam. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Let's dive in and talk some hockey. Do you want to start with Olympics?
Well, actually, I'm ready with All Star if you want to start with that.
All right. Fire away. Get us caught up to date on the latest edition of the NHL All Star game, because for some reason we can't just play East versus West.
I know, right? Well, I mean, hey, if you can get people to watch 3 games instead of just 1, I mean, wouldn't you? I mean, you'd probably get more advertising bang for your buck, that's for sure.
Yeah, but you're not playing 3 full games. You're playing 3 periods. You're just throwing different teams out there at the end of a new period.
Oh, well, yeah, I guess you're right. They're only 20-minute games, but but yeah. So lots of offense, all 3 of them. The Metro beat the Pacific 6-4 in the first game, with goals from Tom Wilson, Claude Giroux, Sebastian Aho, Jake Gensel, and Jack Hughes ×2. I'm counting it up just to make sure.
Yeah. And Wilson was a last-second addition to the Metropolitan All-Star roster. He had to replace teammate Alexander Ovechkin.
Oh shit! I didn't even know that. Was he out with injury, COVID? What happened?
Yeah, Ovechkin got COVID last week Wednesday, so he had to miss the All-Star festivities.
Oh dang! He had to sit at home eating his cereal and slurping. Okay, got it.
Exactly.
But yeah. So they chose a good replacement, Tom Wilson. So got an extra goal out of him. So and they beat the Pacific 6-4. So Pacific got 4 goals from one from Timo Meyer, one from Jordan Eberle from the Kraken, and 2 from the Golden Knights, 1 from Jonathan Marchessault and 1 from Mark Stone. So Metro advanced to the championship game, and then the winner of Atlantic and Central was going to face them. This was also a score fest. 8-5, the Central won that game, behind goals from Jordan Cairo. He got 2 goals. Your boy Alex DeBrincat from Chicago got 2. Nazem Kadri from the Avalanche, Kyle Connor, Roman Yossi from Nashville, Smashville, whatever, and longtime Shark, now Dallas Star, Joe Pavelski got the last one.
Oh, and speaking of the Washington Capitals, Mike Pat just joined us in the chat room. He says Alexander Ovechkin for president.
Alexander Ovechkin for president? Nice.
I'm not sure he would qualify, considering that he was born in Russia and leaving.
Yeah.
And I'm going to leave all the huge potential for jokes aside and just say he was born in Russia, so he can't go on the ballot, and will tiptoe backwards from that landmine.
Yeah, exactly. Atlantic had 5 goals. Jonathan Huberdeau, Austin Matthews, of course, Patrice Bergeron, Steven Stamkos, three legit all stars and probably future Hall of Famers right there. And then, like I said, Jonathan Huberdeau got the 4th one, and up and comer Rasmus Dahlin got the 5th. So it was Central and Metro in the final. Blew my prediction out of the water. I thought it'd be Atlantic versus Pacific. So much for that. In the final, it was Metro over the Central, 5-3, with goals from Evgeny Kuznetsov, Chris Kreider, Jack Hughes, another up-and-comer, and Claude Giroux, longtime Philadelphia Flyer. Central got 3 goals from Clayton Keller, again Nazem Kadri from the Avalanche, and Joe Pavelski, former Shark, now Dallas Star. They had a really good write-up on it. Let's see if we can get some out of that. NHL Metropolitan defeats Central to win 2022 NHL All Star game. Giroux scores twice, earns MVP. Claude Giroux capped a special weekend with his wife and son by scoring 2 goals in the final to help the Metropolitan Division win the 2022 Honda NHL All Star game, 5-3 against the Central Division at T-Mobile Arena on Saturday. Giroux, the Philadelphia Flyers captain, was named Most Valuable Player. We had a blast today. Everyone was having a good time, the forward said. Guys were yelling to play defense and win battles and block shots. We just had fun. It's the 3rd time the Metropolitan has won the All-Star game since the 3-on-3 format was established in 2016. It also won in 17 and 19. Did they bring in the 3-on-3 format at the same time they decided to go division versus division?
I think so. Yes. Because if you're making them go, because the whole reason they went. Yeah, the idea, yes, that's the short answer, yes.
Okay.
Because to go 3-on-3 allows them to have more players, and if they stay just by conference but doing just a 3-on-3, you don't have as many people on the team.
Okay, gotcha. Metropolitan defeated Pacific 6-4. Central defeated the Atlantic 8-5 to get to the final. Metropolitan Division players split a $1 million prize. It was a ton of fun, Metropolitan forward Chris Kreider said. With the last couple of years, because of COVID, normally you're able to see guys potentially on the road that you might have played with or known or haven't really been able to do that. So to have this in the middle of the season, to catch up with some guys, it's a breath of fresh air. Jack Hughes says, I had a great time and my family enjoyed it. A lot of my friends and family were texting me and just telling me how excited they were that I was here. At the end of the day, it was nice that I scored, but, just a special weekend. From our much loved and much maligned Arizona Coyotes. Yes, Clayton Keller. I didn't realize he played for them. I felt like I enjoyed it more this time. He had also played in the 2019 All-Star game in San Jose. It was super fun and great to be here for a second time. He was one of several players who said the competitive level rose significantly in the final, especially in the second period, from what it was in the first two games. Said Giroux, guys just wanted to win. Kuznetsov was like, I'm going to be the hardest working guy out there. I've never seen him work so hard for faceoffs before, even when I play against him in the regular season. We were having fun with it by just working hard. Your Alex DeBrincat mentioned how the Metropolitan players packed it defensively in the second period. They were shutting it down pretty good, the Blackhawks forward said. They had guys back all the time. Our first game was all breakaway. We just ran into some trouble there. Yeah. So, all in all, a good couple games. Good 3 games, really. Well, not full games, but like you said, more like periods. But definitely good entertainment.
Yeah, well, 3-on-3 hockey is insanely entertaining unless you're Larry B and you like defense, in which case you hate 3-on-3 hockey.
Lame.
And let's face it, All-Star games, they're supposed to be fun. You're supposed to be taken with a grain of salt. You're not supposed to get too worked up over them. Think of Justin Verlander in the MLB All-Star game where he just went up there and was like, I just want to throw 100 miles an hour. I don't care if it goes right down the middle. I'm throwing 100 miles an hour. Or the NFL's Pro Bowl where it's just score. Just make crazy plays because that's what everybody's here for. Just don't get hurt.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and they still had the skills competition and did, the speed skating and the crazy shootout goals and all those fun activities. It's a day and a weekend to celebrate the fun of playing a sport.
Yeah. Some few highlights here from that. Victor Hedman says he never clocks his shot unless he's in a hardest shot competition like tonight. I was hoping for over 100. He said he shot 102.7 miles per hour and then 103.2 miles per hour, the 2 hardest shots in the competition.
Damn!
Oh, the 2 hardest. The 2 hardest shots in this competition. But then he was comparing it to years past. He says, still not close to Big Z, Zdeno Chara, or Shea Weber, but I'll take it, and it was fun. In the 2015 competition, Weber shot 108.5. and in the previous one, they watched the date. I can't tell if it's 2021 or 2012, but Chara shot 108.8.
109 miles an hour. Do the T-shirts getting launched out of the cannons come out that quickly?
I don't know if I've ever driven that fast.
Yeah, I definitely have not ever driven that fast. Woo! But, yeah, I don't think the T-shirt cannons fire that quickly. That's... Don't put a... I mean, if you're the goalie, it's like the scene from Anaheim Ducks when the goalie just refuses to stop shots and just skates out of the way. I'd be getting the heck out of the way of that shot. 108.8 miles an hour. What in the world?
Right. They have an accuracy competition, too. The winner of that was Sebastian Aho of the Hurricanes. He hit all 4 targets in a time of 10.937 seconds. Barely defeating Jake Gensel of the Pittsburgh Penguins. He had he got all 4 in 12.017 seconds. All in all, a fun night in Vegas.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. They had the Pro Bowl and they had the NHL All Star game going on in Vegas in the same weekend. Everybody had fun. And yeah, the NHL sniper competition is fun to watch. The stick handling ones are just insane to watch too, where it's just we put obstacles in your way and you need to make sure you control the puck the whole way through. It's wild what these guys can do. All kinds of fun.
Yeah. Now you said sniper. Are you talking about the speed one, or are you talking something different?
Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm referring to the accuracy competition where just guys just absolutely sniping it right to a spot.
Oh, nice. Ooh, 109 miles an hour.
That's just
I can't even. Ooh.
Get out of the way. Just get out of the way.
I will follow Ludacris's advice. Yeah.
Sage advice from Ludacris. Who knew?
Right? Yeah. Sage advice. Indeed.
Very sage advice.
Oh my God, too much.
Anything else from the All Star game there, Zach?
No, that's about everything I had.
All right. Well, then let's take a quick break, and then let's go from domestic hockey to international hockey. U.S. versus Canada was last night in the women's Olympic tournament. Definitely, barring something miraculous or catastrophic, depending on your point of view, happening, definitely a gold medal preview. We will talk about that on the other side of a break. This is the Neutral Zone here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. We'll be right back after this.
Woo.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Davidson.
It's your boy, Dentarius Lava.
And we are the hosts of Fast Break here on IE Sports Radio, where we discuss everything in the world of basketball from prep to the pros.
You guys should definitely check us out, man. Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We got all the basketball information you guys need, so we look forward to you guys listening in.
And please do, because we are the best basketball show on this side of the Mississippi. And please do check us out on Twitter at FastBreakISR. D-Lock, where's our time again?
8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. That give you guys plenty of time on a Sunday.
Tune in.
What's going on, football fans? This is me, your boy Larry B, inviting you to join myself, Colin Reynolds, Mike Pat, and John Felipe for one of the most electrifying football shows you have ever heard. 3 and Out, right here at IE Sports Radio. Recap of the week before, a preview of what's to come, and of course, 3 hardcore head-to-head prime-time face-offs each week. You don't want to miss it.
Hi everybody, it's Calvin here from USRN, here to give you an important message. Since 2017, we have done our absolute best to provide you with nothing but the highest quality of sports calls in the greatest of quantity possible. Thanks to you, our station has grown more than we ever thought. That's why, with your help, we would like to grow even further. Just think, twice the amount of your favorite calls, 24 hours of coverage, talk shows, play-by-play, game-by-game analysis, and so much more. That's right, USRN2 is officially in development. But we can't do it alone. We have set up a GoFundMe page that you can access from our homepage on the left of your screen. We also are planning special giveaways and prizes to our highest owners. Our goal here at USRN is to bring you the best calls possible at no cost to you. In order to continue to do that, we need your help now. Please check out our GoFundMe page, and if you would like to know how you can help, you can email usrnradio@gmail.com. Without your support, we couldn't do what we do.
Hey sports fans, do you like wine? Well, we've got the show for you. This is Let's Wine About Sports, a show where we talk about wine and sports simultaneously. From the classic Cabernet Sauvignon all the way down to the grapes that you've never even heard of before. Oh yeah, we cover it all. And we'll talk about a little bit of sports as well. Football, hockey, collegiate, women's sports, it doesn't matter. We're going to talk about it all, and we're going to whine about it all. So join me Monday at 8 p.m. on IU Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
What's happening, sports fans? Are you a fan of Southern California sports? Are you looking for a show hotter than a hot summer day in California? Then look no further than the SoCal Supreme Sports Show, where I talk about all things Southern California sports. That's right, all sports teams from Southern California. From the hard-hitting tackles of the NFL, to the killer crossovers and big three-pointers of the NBA and WNBA, to the grand slams of the MLB, to the bone-chilling goals of the NHL, and to the booming kicks of the MLS, the SoCal Supreme Sports Show has it all for you. Oh, and let us not forget about the college sports as well. So join me, Taryn Rodriguez, every week here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
And welcome back into the neutral zone here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Adam and Zach back with you here. So right as we went to break, Taryn Rodriguez threw a great one into the chat. This is a perfect sports talk radio kind of conversation starter here. Which is best, from best to worst? NBA All Star Game, NFL Pro Bowl, MLB All Star break, or the NHL All Star break? Zach and I were talking about this during the break. We're going to start off, though, with Taryn. Taryn put his answer in the chat, so we'll start here. He ranked them NBA, NHL, NFL, MLB. Zach, where do you come in on this?
That sounds awfully familiar. I would say, I would go NHL, then NBA, then NFL, and then MLB. I don't like hearing Joe Buck, and if I had to listen to him for any longer than I normally have to in the football season, I'm out.
So you're excited that NBC is covering the Super Bowl on Sunday?
Yes, I could definitely. My brother and I tease about Chris Collinsworth. Well, here's a guy.
Now here's a guy.
But if you had to rank the normal, commentators for the regular season games, I'd still take him over Joe Buck. Oh man, my top pairing would probably be Jim Nantz, though. Hello, friends.
And Tony Romo just losing his mind.
Being super duper Nostradamus, crazy.
And so then my rankings for the All Stars, I actually put NBA 1. The 3-point contest, the slam dunk contest are insanely entertaining, and the game itself, while obviously ridiculously high scoring, no defense, it's still fairly representative of the game that they play. It's still 5-on-5. You could turn it on and instantly, oh yeah, this is basketball. This is what basketball looks like. 2, I would put the NHL. Again, as we talked about, all the skills competitions, those are a ton of fun. 3-on-3 hockey is a ton of fun to watch, but it's not really what you watch during the week, and having the 3 20-minute games is a little odd. For me, 3rd, I put the MLB All Star break. I don't understand why they give home field advantage to the World Series to the league that wins the All Star game. That's always felt weird and odd to me. I should say, as a kid, I thought it was okay. Now it's weird. They need to stop it. And then finally, the Pro Bowl. The Pro Bowl is just bad. It's just bad football, and they need to stop playing the Pro Bowl. It is terrible.
We talked about the baseball one, home field advantage, a little bit during the break, and so I think it's to try to get people, the players, more excited maybe to play the game and give them more incentive to not, to actually give it their all. Well, and also to give more importance to it when the fans watch it. Whether they really need to do that and affect their championship game, I don't know.
Yeah, it's just weird and odd, and they need to knock that off. Just let them play, let them have fun. All-Star games aren't supposed to mean anything. They're just supposed to be for fun. Let it be for fun.
Yeah.
Now,
because you have other sports that have a series to end the year. You've got NBA, you got NHL, and their All-Star game doesn't determine who has, home field advantage. It's who's the higher seeded team in the playoffs.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's just, yes, it's MLB. MLB has a lot of problems, a lot of them more bigger and more pressing than fixing the All-Star game right now, but that is definitely something they need to look at fixing. But from from games that don't count to games that absolutely do count, let's talk some Olympics, shall we?
Let's do it.
So late last night, 11 o'clock in the East, 8 o'clock in the Pacific, or 12 o'clock, what day is today? Tuesday? 12 o'clock Tuesday afternoon if you were in China. Love a 13-hour time zone difference based on the East Coast. That is, before I get into the game itself, I got to go to China in college for a couple of weeks. That time zone thing, that is hard to be on a different day than back home all the time, that is hard. I mean, you get used to it, but then when you try to check in with anybody back home, it's just weird. I will be so glad when the Olympics go to Paris in a couple of years and Los Angeles coming up soon, because the time zone will work so much better for us than China. It's just hard to have China be the host for that reason.
Well,
but anyway,
it's so funny to, like, you know, we're watching it at night and it's live for us, and it's actually live for them too.
Yeah,
because it's like 12 or 13 hours ahead. It's like, oh wow, you know, because normally, you know, it's always tape delayed, or you know, the stuff that's live is on at the wee hours of the morning, like when it's on that hemisphere, you know.
Yeah. That it's, you got to remember when you're watching the stuff that's in the morning, that's happening at night in China. And when you're watching the stuff at night, no, that's happening tomorrow morning. So like the events that are going on right now that people might be watching on NBC, those are going on Wednesday morning in China. It's just,
right.
It's a mind warp. So anyway.
Mind blowing for sure.
Yes, very mind-blowing for sure. So anyway, for our purposes, it was last night. USA and Canada played in the women's hockey tournament. First time meeting in the Olympics since the U.S. won the gold medal game back in 2018. The U.S., the defending Olympic champions, Canada, the defending world champions. It went Canada's way last night, 4-2, even though the U.S. outshot Canada and outshot them in a big, big way. 53-27 shots on net in favor of the U.S.
Oh my gosh, go figure.
Yeah. And Renee Despiens, the goalie for Canada, was phenomenal last night. She did an outstanding job, 51 saves, and she looked very cool, calm, collected the whole game. So that, I mean, it doesn't matter what level of hockey you're playing. A hot goalie makes up for anything else happening in front of it. You know, you can ride a hot goalie all the way to a championship. That holds up whether you're playing in college, minors, world championships, NHL, whatever it is, have you. A hot goalie will carry the day, and that's kind of what happened last night. Is Despiens was just, she was in her groove, she was in her element last night. It was the first loss of the tournament for the U.S. Now, this was just a preliminary game, so even though the U.S. lost, they still advanced to the quarterfinals. They still survive and will now make it into the elimination round. Canada wins Group A with the win. They went 4-0. The U.S. went 3-1 and took second, but both will get into the elimination round that starts Thursday. Thursday night for us is when the elimination round starts. It starts Friday in China. It'll be Friday afternoon is when it starts. But a good game. Good game all around. You could tell that the two teams, they know each other, and they were ready to go. They were ready to face each other. The U.S. fell behind 1-0 in the first period. That was the first time in the entire tournament they had failed to score in one of the periods at all, was in the first period of last night's game. And it kind of felt a little bit, too, like a boxing match last night. That first period, both sides were just kind of feeling each other out and seeing who's doing what. And then Canada scored. The U.S. did take the lead in the second period got a 2-1 lead, but it kind of fell apart after that. Danny Camoranesi scored on her own rebound. Alex Carpenter scored for the U.S. to put the U.S. up 2-1, but after that it was not even a minute later, Canada scored to tie it, and then just a couple minutes later took the lead. The final goal was a penalty shot, actually, from the Canadian captain that was ultimately the dagger. But all in all, a good game overall. We will see. I'd be shocked if these two teams don't wind up meeting in the gold medal game. But we do now have our tournament settings for the elimination round that starts again here in just a couple of days. The U.S. will take on the Czech Republic. Will be their quarterfinal opponent. The Czech Republic in the first round, and they came out of Group B, so they didn't have to play the U.S. or Canada in the first round. They came out of Group B. Canada will take on Sweden, also coming out of Group B. Russia will take on Switzerland, and Finland will take on Japan in the quarterfinals. And then the U.S. and Canada, since they are 1 and 2 in the tournament, they would not have the opportunity to face each other again until the gold medal game. Looking at some of the stats.
U.S. and Canada, wouldn't you said?
Yeah, U.S. and Canada will not play each other, could not play each other again until we would get to the gold medal game. They'll stay away from each other until we get to the gold medal game. Looking at some stats from the qualifying round, from the preliminary round, the top 7 scorers are all from Canada, and 8 of the top 9 are from Canada. You don't get to somebody not from North America until the 12th overall scorer. Haruka Toko from Japan was the 12th highest scorer in the tournament, and she's the first non-North American woman on the list. She's got through the first, and she's tied with Hillary Knight for 12th. She had 5 points through the first 4 games. The top scorers so far, Natalie Spooner of Canada, 11 points, 2 goals and 9 assists. The top goal scorers so far through the preliminary round, I'm just making sure I'm not missing anybody here, but I don't think I am. The top goal scorer is actually a tie. Brianne Jenner and Sarah Fillier, both from Canada, are the top 2 goal scorers, both with 5 apiece through the first 4 games. So, like we talked about last week, this is going to be the Canadian-U.S. dance towards each other for the gold medal game.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's what I was thinking too. I was like, even though the U.S. did lose, but it's not end-all, be-all in this round. We had a solid performance, and we just kind of look forward and hope that that's going to be the gold medal game.
Yeah, exactly, and it's good to kind of see what they're throwing at you. Oh, here we go. I've got the final standings from both Group A and Group B. So China just barely missed out on making it. Sweden won its final game, and that allowed Sweden to get in. Sweden got in because it won both of its games in regulation. China won one of its games in overtime, so Sweden gets kind of the tiebreaker there. They get the extra point for winning in regulation as opposed to overtime.
Okay.
So China just missed out. So the teams that missed out from making it into the elimination round are China and Denmark. Everybody from Group A made it in, and then Japan, the Czech Republic, and Sweden make it in from Group B.
Gotcha. Now, is it single elimination or double elimination, or is it only double elimination when it gets to the end when they're trying to come up with who gets the bronze medal?
At this point, it is single elimination. Yeah, what'll happen is in the quarterfinal round, starting Thursday night, it'll be if win in advance, lose, and you're done. If you lose, the two losing teams from the semifinal round will then meet and play in the bronze medal game.
Gotcha. Okay. So it's like a combination of single and double almost.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha. Cool.
So yeah, it'll be very exciting to see the U.S. gets the Czech Republic again Thursday night. It'll be 11:00 Thursday night. I will be doing my best to stay up and watch that. I made it through most of the game last night, so no reason I can't do it again, right?
Right.
I am wondering now, though. It's like, what's that?
Even if you don't drink coffee.
I do not drink coffee. No, I made it through. I made it through the whole day. See me after the show, and I might give you a different answer on that. But
right. Seeing how energetic Grace was when I was over there earlier. Yeah. I can understand why you'd be running ragged by the end of the day.
3-year-olds have two. I've mentioned this many times before. 3-year-olds have two speeds. On and off, and on is 100 miles an hour.
Right. Check out my dice. Check out my Paw Patrol. Check out this game. Check out that game. Check out this dollhouse.
I must be the center of attention at all times.
Right. Nah, she's adorable.
She is good. She is good overall, and she likes watching some of this stuff too. She likes watching. She thinks everything's a Bears game, but we're working on that.
Hey, baby steps, right?
Exactly. All right. Well, let's take one more quick break after that, and then we will come in and kind of wrap things up. We've got some NHL scores. Zach, you've got some stuff from Philadelphia from last week, some stuff from Michigan State. We will try to wrap a bow on this. This is the Neutral Zone here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. We will be right back after this.
It's IE Sports Radio. It is your direct feed for all that is sports. It is Philly Sports Talk with Cash and Chris every Tuesday night right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Philly Sports Talk with Cash and Chris is the most comprehensive view on Philadelphia sports exclusively right here on IE Sports Radio. You know what it is, your direct feed for all that is sports. Tuesday night, IE Sports Radio, Philly Sports Talk with Cash and Chris.
Motorsports takes many forms, and there's one show on IE Sports Radio that's ready to cover it all.
I sure hope you're talking about you and I, Daryl, because I know the Extra Mile is the best place to go for everything motorsports related.
Yes, it is. From NASCAR to IndyCar to sports cars to everything in between, IE Sports Radio has everything covered for the fastest sport in the world.
Plus, don't forget all of our random shenanigans along the way.
That's right, Caitlin. So for plenty of motorsports coverage and plenty of Caitlinisms, check out The Extra Mile on IE Sports Radio with Daryl Kinsey Jr. and Caitlin Seen, Thursdays at 8 p.m.
Are you a Minnesota sports fan? If you are, you should join me, AJ, on my Thursday night podcast called Frozen Takes with AJ on IU Sports Radio. I talk about all things Minnesota sports, from the Vikings to Lynx basketball. Every week I talk about the good and the bad of sports in the land of the Frozen Lakes. Join me Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time for your Minnesota sports show on IU Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Calling all Indiana sports fans, this is your podcast. Welcome to High Octane Entertainment on IE Sports Radio. Join me, Justin Lahr, as your host on Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific, to hear all the latest and greatest sports updates on everything from college to the pros in the great Hoosier state. No matter what, it's guaranteed to be high-octane entertainment. That's Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Ladies and gentlemen, hear me and hear me good. If you like sports, then you like the Wait a Minute Show. If you like comedy, then you like the Wait a Minute Show. If you like a different opinion coming from a different angle, then you like the Wait a Minute Show. So join me Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with your host, Jelani J.B. Bodie. And of course, my man Lopan on the WaitAMinuteShow.com. Ain't that right, Lopan?
And welcome back into the Neutral Zone on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. One last quick segment here. We're going to wrap a bow on this. Right before us tonight, you may have heard on IE Sports Radio, Cash and Chris talking all things Philly sports. They had their Flyers Minute. Well, Zach has a little bit to expand on the Philadelphia Flyers, a holdover story from last week. Zach, get us caught up to date on things happening in Philadelphia.
Sure. This is from ESPN, from Emily Kaplan, January 24th. How a tweet from a Flyers fan in Louisiana got him to his first game in Philly. When the Flyers game against the Capitals was postponed on December 21st, Cam Atkinson was disappointed. And then he realized it was a potential reprieve. Philadelphia players were given an extra 2 days off, meaning they could start their Christmas break early. It had been a challenging start for the Flyers. Season with Stanley Cup aspirations tumbled quickly. They fired their coach in December and were last in the Metropolitan Division. Not an ideal introduction for Atkinson, who was traded to Philadelphia over the summer after spending a decade in Columbus. Atkinson figured a few days away from the rink might help him and his teammates reset mentally. I'm someone who always tries to find the positives, Atkinson said. Meanwhile, less than a mile away, 29-year-old Joe Bustani sat in a hotel room seething. Bustani grew up in Louisiana. There was an ice rink in Lafayette, thanks to the now-defunct ECHL's Louisiana Ice Skaters. and Bustani's dad put him on skates as soon as he could. Bustani had to stop playing hockey in high school because there were simply no options to play after that. But he adopted the Flyers as his NHL team to follow. I've sometimes felt like an outsider to the Flyers family, he says. I live in Louisiana. I don't get to too many games. I'm just following from afar. He was about to learn how tight the hockey community really is. Bustani's wife of 1 month, Kat, had surprised him with tickets for the December 21st game. Between plane tickets, the hotel, and game tickets, the price tag was $1,500. Kat justified it as a combined Christmas, birthday, wedding gift. Frankly, we can't afford it, Bustani said, but she sacrificed her hard-earned money to make my dreams come true. The couple began to get nervous about the possibility of a cancellation. NHL had postponed several games already in Canada with Omicron and spike across North America as well as in the NHL. Then on December 20th, NHL announced it was pausing all games to the Christmas break, except it was going to try to squeeze 2 more in. One was the Flyers-Caps game. So once we heard that, we felt okay about getting on the plane, Bustani said. And as soon as we landed, we find out the game was postponed. Oh, no. Oh. Bustani was devastated. He checked into his hotel, looked out his window, and he could see the Wells Fargo Center. I was super upset. Well, that explains some seething earlier. And impulsively, as all of things are on Twitter are, tweeted out my story, he says. Here's his tweet. Dear NHL Flyers and NHL and NHLPA, you may never see this, but I want to say it anyway. I was born and raised in Louisiana. I've been a Flyers fan almost my entire life. I've always dreamed of going to a game, but because I live so far away, I never had the opportunity. Bustani only had 25 followers. He didn't expect much of a reaction or pity. He just needed a vent. But a Flyers podcast and blog he religiously follows, Broad Street Hockey, retweeted him. And soon his post started making its rounds. A few people tagged Flyers players, and it ended up in Atkinson's notifications. Without the fans, we wouldn't be able to play the game we love for a living, Atkinson says. I love interacting with fans anytime I can. Atkinson hasn't been able to get into the Philadelphia community much at all during his first season due to the COVID protocols. Just seeing that story put things in perspective, Atkinson said. Everyone's been affected by COVID in some way, and right before the holidays, people were hurting even more. I thought it was a no-brainer to try and help out as much as I could. That's the easiest thing I could do. I would love to meet him personally, but with our strict rules still, I can't even let my own wife and kids pass to see me after the game. And so Atkinson contacted Jared Gladstone at the Athletes Assist, a concierge service that works with players, and asked him to help out Bustani and his wife. I've been here for such a short period of time, but to see how passionate the fans are as an athlete, that's really all you want, Atkinson said, through the good times and the bad times. It's not always going to be pretty, and it's definitely not pretty right now. But they expect us to win every night, which is great. It's impossible, but we want to try for them. They have no filter, that's for damn sure. In my opinion, they just need to stick with us. A lot of the times it's negative. It's always identifying what's wrong, and it's like, take your negative attitude and into a positive mindset, and you never know. So on Monday night, this already happened, but when the Flyers hosted the Stars, Kat and Joe Bustani were in the arena, courtesy of Atkinson. It's a quick 2-day trip for them, the only time Kat could take off from her job in healthcare. Bustani's been humbled by the reaction to his story and hopes it can inspire more acts of generosity, both big and small. I get the sense that hockey fans really stick together. It really is a family, Bustani said. Philly fans don't have a lot to be happy about this season. It hasn't been a great season for the Flyers. But to see how many people reached out wanting to help me out just to see a fellow fan go to a game, that says a lot.
That is a cool story.
For sure.
And yes, Philly fans are nothing if not crazy passionate about their sports teams. The Flyers are no exception to that.
Mm-hmm. I'll tweet that out on our page, and I'll tag Cash and Chris in it too.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a great story. All right. Well, that is going to do it for us tonight. Thank you for sticking with us and sticking through this on our show tonight, going through the NHL, Olympics, going through All-Star games. Zach is going to talk some more about Michigan State hockey on his show, Lions, Tigers, and Wings, oh my, on Thursday night. Be sure to check him out. We will have all kinds of more hockey for you next week as well. We'll be talking more Olympics, both women's and men's at that point. The NHL trade deadline is starting to get closer, starting to creep closer. We'll take a look at some of those things. And, of course, all the awesome stories and crazy events that happen in the hockey world throughout the week. We will be right here for it. Thank you to our sponsors, the Southern California Warriors and Background Check International, for continuing to sponsor not only this show, but every show on the station. Thank you to Larry for all the hard work he does in keeping the station afloat. Thank you to Taryn. Thank you to Mike for hanging out with us in the chat room tonight. We really do appreciate that. And thank you for listening to us, for making us part of your weekly ritual, whether you're listening live or as a podcast. We really do appreciate it and your support. We are here for it. We are it for IE Sports Radio tonight, but coming up tomorrow, of course, we'll have the show that never sleeps with Harrison and Pierre breaking down all things New York. I'm sure they will have some Islanders and Rangers things to discuss, as those two teams are sitting high up in the rankings. And also the Penguins and the Bruins are playing tonight. Beantown Brandon will have things from the results of that game tonight, I'm sure, as he talks about Boston. For Zach, I am Adam. We are the Neutral Zone on IE Sports Radio. Until next week, see you then.